Welcome in. It is the ATB show at the buzzer. You can check us out at atbshow.com where you can subscribe and like and comment and share, and our socials are there. I don't think we do a thing on the socials, quite honestly. We're not hanging out with the kids doing much on the socials. Nope. Rubbish is like,
well,
nope.
I asked if someone could talk me through like making clips of the show and I could post them on, but no one. I got crickets back. So,
oh, well, you know what I was thinking. So we're gonna have a meeting at the top of the show that nobody asked for. Brought to you by our dear friends Joe and Leslie over AAA Work Talks. No, we'll do that, and they're not a sponsor yet, but yeah, Opus clips, super simple. Chuck it in, it spits it out. It's fantastic. We'll figure that out, William. Yes, perfect. We are without Corey. Corey is wrestling monkeys on the beach, and I don't where did anybody look at Scotty's face? You didn't see Corey?
No.
Corey. So Corey, young and single again, is on a brocation. Which, you know, if you're on a brocation with a singular bro, and then you're taking pictures with monkeys, it just goes down like it's too much fodder. There's too much license given to your friends who are doing the podcast back at home where it's 38 degrees to maybe run rampant with it. We're not going to, respectfully, because he's on vacation with another man holding monkeys. It's fine. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's up to or down to or whatever. So he's indisposed. That'll be the word of the day. It's like Sesame Street. Yes, that's the word of the day. Anyway,
I was thinking uncertainty would be the word of the day, but you know, that works too.
Yeah. Yep. But listen, we hope he has a great trip. Adam is stuck in traffic between Hartford and beautiful downtown Milford, where he makes his home. Won't give out the address. 74. Won't do it. I won't do it. But there's a start. Just start roaming through the streets. You'll find him eventually. He's in the front yard signing babies and autographs. So we're going to get into it. We are joking about the fact, and it is tonight because we just looked. The Red Sox have won a couple of awards. There's another award tonight. Roman Anthony did not get Rookie of the Year because obviously, I mean, the injury jammed him up. Yes, no, maybe obviously was that back injury or oblique injury or both? Like what was the deal there?
Either way, it would have been tough to beat Nick Kurtz.
Yeah, Kurtz was, out of his mind.
He was playing amazing. But it was the oblique for him for the most part. That held him out. But yeah, I don't think anyone was gonna. Kurtz had a monster rookie year.
Yeah. Well, so we're infamous for this. Was it our show ended because we're always stuck in this 5 o'clock hour? I shouldn't say stuck. I force us to the 5 o'clock hour because some of us have adult jobs, William. I'm just kidding. He works full time. So even though he's home shirtless right now, he's got the macaroni muscles out. Look at him. Didn't we? I mean, we finished our show and within 38 seconds, didn't Edelman post his video like 38 seconds after we finished our show? And we were talking, we're like, do we think he's going to retire and all this stuff? And then like, boom, he's on the 50-yard line on a stool saying goodbye right after our show finished. So in holding with tradition, I'm going to guess at around 6:14 p.m. They'll probably pick the top of the hour. There are Major League Sports. Maybe it's going to be 7 o'clock. Maybe it'll be 6:30 Eastern. I don't know. We trust that we might have a Cy Young on our hands. Maybe. Do you think that he's in the running?
Yeah.
I mean, he has to be in the running.
He's
definitely
probably going to come in second.
Who's he behind, Joe?
Scooble.
Oh, Scooble. Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be a tight race for sure. But the thing that annoys the crap out of me is baseball does not need to drag this out for multiple days. What are we doing?
I know.
The Gold Gloves were like 5 days ago. You know what I mean? Like it just announce everything at once, like normal sports do. I don't know, like you're just, and I get it. There's just like a massive gap.
Grab headlines,
That's what it is.
Oh, they're grabbing headlines. We'll get to those. MLB's got enough to worry about. So yeah, I appreciate, Scotty. They don't need to drag this out yet. Right now, not that they've changed their cadence. They always do this. It's like the Gold Glovers and then the Rookie of the Year and all this stuff. It's always spread out because they're trying to do what the NFL does, which no one's ever going to do what the NFL does. The NFL has a pertinent event in every month of the year, not to mention when they're actually in season. So the MLB's not going to ever be able to do that. Yet they're challenged now that we're done praying for Garrett Crochet. And hopefully tonight we'll have some great news after the show, of course. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, they're supposed to announce it at 7, so.
Of course, yes. Excellent. And I guarantee if we move the show to 7, they do it at 8:30. But that's fine. That's fine. They'll be checking with us. When is ATB going live? So let me say this concerning that. There's been a lot of scuttlebutt about the fact that the whole gambling thing and what should happen. How do you think they're going to deal with this? And again, I've been in a bubble all day, so maybe there's been some stuff that's come out. I know it's been a story. How do you think Major League Baseball deals with this? Are they going to pull these people and eliminate them from the sport? Is it going to be a long suspension? Because they can't call FanDuel and DraftKings and be like, stop that. Like, that doesn't stop anything.
They'll be banned for life.
You think they'll get black soxed? Yes?
Yeah. They'll get Pete Rose. I mean, Pete Rose finally was let back in because they could never find evidence that he actually messed with games. If they find these guys actually, were throwing games, because they're going to be able to find out. Because that's the thing that's happening with all this gambling. It's the player props. I have a feeling that
not a sponsor, but
they're going to do something to get rid of the player props, because that's the things that that the players can control on themselves.
Yes,
the most, and I have a feeling they'll be getting rid of those.
I hate that though, because that's when you can chuck together. And I don't like. I've got my DraftKings account. I love being able to just jump in there and chuck a couple shekels around and put together some ridiculous little prop bets and bake up a little parlay where you might win $14. Like, to me, that's just fun and it's timid. Yeah. I understand them wanting to eliminate that. Like, there's no way to keep an eye on it, that people aren't going to keep circumventing the rules or finding a new way to do things. So, I hope that's not going to be the answer, because the prop bets I love those things, like first touchdown, anytime touchdown, all that kind of stuff is that's the fun stuff for like the non-betters. I'm not calling, I'm going to use an Irish name so I don't pick a fight with another whole family. I'm not calling Fitzy and saying, hey, I want to lay X. Now, I'm not putting big numbers on anything, even with DraftKings. I think the biggest bet, this will shock everybody, my biggest bet I've ever done
$22.
is amen, sister. Yep. Always.
So I think I saw something about them putting caps on how much you can bet on the player props.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So for like specific to, I think it was like either pitch count or pitches or something like that thrown, it was like I think a $200 max or something to that effect for that prop that they had announced that the MLB has come to an agreement with all of the sports betting sites, apps, whatever, DraftKings, etc. And no one uses ESPN Bet, so that's doesn't worry about that.
What's funny? I love that you brought that up, and I wouldn't want to, because I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm also going to say this: happily married. I'm happily married. Janina's not. Another show for that. But Erin Dolan is. I will. Usually, whatever she throws out for a ridiculous prop bet, I'll play it, and it works. So I do love her tutelage. Sound personal. I do love her tutelage. Scotty, ESPN Bets is a little too gross that they get enough of my money. Disney, hi Disney, you get enough of my money every month. I don't need to actually then hand you the money while I watch you take it on the channel that you sell back to me. I'm a DraftKings kid for sure. And ESPN Bets also, while we're complaining, hi Michael Eisner, it doesn't even work in New Hampshire. I think it's not here yet or something weird. Like it's not working in New Hampshire or something. And maybe it was a while ago when I checked, but I stopped caring because I don't need, again, not an avid gambler. I don't need 13 accounts. all of my craps in, one, and I think I have like $22 in it right now, Rubber Shoes. I figured you'd enjoy that. So, anyway, yeah, it's we can't have nice things. I mean, that's probably like my whole thought process on this. Like, really? And you're watching him, and I forget his name already, but and which doesn't matter because everybody will remember it because he's all over the news. The pitches he was throwing, the non-strikes he was throwing, did he have a ball count? Was it the prop bet on how many balls he would throw? I mean, they were just a bit outside. It was really bad. But you don't know it until you're like, oh, he must have a blister, or he's not feeling good, or he strained a muscle in his shoulder. And then you find this out. You're like, oh my God. You're always Monday morning quarterback and be like, how did we not see that? There's something going on right now. Yeah, there's a college basketball game going on right now, and some kids are getting paid to miss threes. We know that. Like, that's just happening.
Well, the happiest people right now for all of this is the NBA. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
so happy that the MLB is like doing this.
Yeah, they get to slide out.
Oh, spotlight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
they just got to get Jalen to stop spray painting his head, and they'll be out of the headlines. Pun intended. You're welcome, America. Yeah.
All the betting and all that is. It's a dangerous string, I think, for all the professional teams, right? People start pulling on that string. Next thing you know, it'll be the NFL, right? It'll be obviously NBA,
1,000%, 1,000%.
Start pulling on all of that, where it's just going to have a massive, massive effect on all of it. And like you said to me, we can't have nice things. It's going to ruin it for the little guys like us that like to gamble and like to have a little bit of fun.
Stupid prop bets, yeah. And Aaron Dolan's duct tape these three things together and win yourself $7. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do.
Right. Yeah. But it sucks. And I think there was only they were going to get like 12 grand or something, or I don't know if I got that confused if that was their bet or if that was their winnings, but it wasn't very much. And for someone like Emmanuel Clase,
shocks me is
for someone like Emmanuel Clase, who's made millions, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
But the thing with they're probably getting strong arm back in their country. Like they're probably someone saying, "Hey, if you don't do this, we're gonna mess with your family," something like that.
Yep. Yeah. There's something going on at a private betting organization somewhere that we don't know about, and Billy's got a great point. Yeah. You're in America. It's bad pitches. Your parents are still at home in Venezuela or whatever, and
everything's just going to be WWE. Everything's going to be scripted. We're just going to be watching sports for the entertainment purposes only. No, it's not actually going to be.
And the prop bet will be the over/under on Adam DeYoung watching under 7 minutes or over 7 minutes of WrestleMania. Oh, Moses!
That would be the best if they come out and said that the WNBA was fixed 100%. That would be awesome. There's no way Angel Reese can miss those shots on purpose.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Yep. You're going to stop. Yeah. They're going to pull away the prop bet of me bounce. Is that even a prop bet? It should be. Her me bounce?
So yeah. I've seen a thing on my Instagram that people were betting on her to miss her first shot.
Yes. 1,000%. Yeah. That was a thing. That was a prop bet,
games or something like that.
Yeah. And all the guys huddle around the TV and they all freak out.
Yeah.
And then they shut it off and go out drinking. They're not, so they're watching the first 4 minutes of the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. They got us for the first minute.
Yeah. I mean, and that's like the greatest challenge is they're not hanging out. They're not hanging out for the game. They're hanging out for their prop bet on the front side and then they're gone. That's going to be interesting too. And we're not going to get into it because I don't want Rubber Shoes to walk off set. They're going to talk their way out of a league. They really are. I mean, a lot of the big names are digging their heels in, and her latest word splash that I saw on some social media thing within the last couple of weeks was until we get paid the way the guys are getting paid. And it's like, you don't live in the same country. And this isn't about, it is actually, back up. This is about men versus women. This is about the caliber of the product, the eyes on the ratings, and the NBA is not the highest rated sport in the country. We know that. And it's destroying the WNBA. It just, and to Rubber Shoes' credit, you take a couple people off the court because they're injured and it's just not that intriguing anymore, and people are not watching. Like, I would only ever turn on when I knew that Caitlin was going to be playing somebody, and I would put it on. I wasn't staying long, but I would watch it. I will watch a game when I know there's a star on the court, and truth be told, I'm not watching, and you guys know, when we get to, like, you guys start talking about other teams in the NBA, I just sort of go, and I watch, because as Rubber Shoes would say, do you think before you open your mouth? So I don't. And I'm not watching the NBA unless it's the Celtics. Like, I'm a homer and I'm proud of it. Huge honk, right? I don't know. How do they not math the math? How do they think this is going to work? And the owners are wildly silent because they just know that it's coming, which is going to be interesting when it happens, because I don't know what Adam's going to do. His sports watching will be over.
I think they denied. They offered him like 100 or 200% raise, and they like, nope. Like, they went up for like the minimum from like 100,000 to 200,000.
Yeah. Yep.
And they said no. They want more. I was like,
yeah. There's a great saying in business: we are fair, not equal. Like, it's just not. It's not. No. There's the ability for your league to make the same money that league is making. You have the ability to do that.
Yeah. Right.
Get there. We're not just gonna, and pun intended, we're not going to just level the playing field or the court, as it were. It's just that's not a thing. That's not a thing. That's not profitable. This isn't about emotion. This is about how much money the owners have, and they're willing to feed into something that's not paying them back. It's just fascinating to me that they don't love where it is right now. It's grown so much, and they're like, we could have the mile, but we want, we want a million miles. And yeah, they're going to light themselves on fire, which is ridiculous. Tis not going to happen. So yeah. I thought that was
our ratings just dropped from 2 to 0.
Cheryl,
too much sports betting talk.
Cheryl shut the show off. She's like,
we
really?
had 2 people watching. Now we have 0.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And Maddie DeVoe said, "I need to burn my jersey," and then I told him it was a Luke Cornett jersey, and he's like, "Okay, that's fine."
I was wondering,
is that honestly what that is, dude?
Yep.
You got Luke Cornett.
I couldn't see the top. I thought it was a 5. I'm like, is that a Keldon Johnson jersey? I'm like, what is happening? Like, first of all, I would give you total props for a Keldon Johnson jersey. I'd be very impressed by that. But yeah, no, it makes more sense with Luke Cornett.
I am probably, my next purchase is probably going to be a Wemby. Dude, he's
unbelievable. He is playing so well.
He might be the first MVP and defensive player of the year since, I think it was Jordan.
Yep. Jordan's the last one. He's playing so well on both ends, and not only that, but he's playing just really smart basketball. Yep. Which shocking. The Spurs play smart basketball, but he's playing so well. He's playing within himself. He's not trying to do too much. And honestly, it's such a young team, but and obviously he's by far the superstar of that team, but they're having fun, and that's a fun team to watch. Like, to your point, Timmy, I flip around and I'll watch other teams.
God bless you.
I enjoy watching San Antonio. I'm not going to lie. They're a lot of fun. I mean, I used to, there'd be times I enjoyed watching them when it was Timmy and Parker and those guys.
Sure.
I liked it kind of in the later years with Timmy and those guys, because with Boris Chow and the way they moved the ball with Thiago Splitter and those guys, that was a better time to watch. Some of their other earlier, like 2000 shit, was boring as all hell. But anyway,
right.
But they're just having fun. They're having fun. They're winning games. It's a very young league right now, which makes a lot of sense if you look at like the standings, where Detroit right now is leading the Eastern Conference at like 9-2 or 10-2 or something. Cade Cunningham's obviously he's coming off a great year last year and is just kind of rolling that forward. And Detroit had a great year last year. I mean, making the playoffs as like a 4 or 5 seed, but to move it forward the way that they are is impressive. And they're doing the same thing that San Antonio is. They're having a lot of fun. I feel like they're enjoying themselves on the court. Boston, on the other hand, they're pressing. They look like they're pressing.
I love that you use that word. I use that word in like 6 different meetings today. And I referenced, and no one will remember this interview, but I do. It was like after a game while Barry Bonds was going for the home run title. And he was full roids. His head was out here. He looked like a pumpkin head. And he was just like, and they were talking about, his method at the plate. And he's like, if I go up and I press, it's going to be a mess. But if I go up and just rely on my God-given talents and my steroids, sorry, cream and clear. There were no nagels. If I go up and rely on my talents and the cream and clear, he goes, the math will stack, the contact will come, and the home runs will follow. And I don't know. It just looks so clunky right now. Like last night for them, the rebounds, they just look, they got a great view. Like I joke about this all the time. Like there's, you got certain people that are on the field and they've got better seats than anybody else, but it's like, you're supposed to be in the game. Like you're right there. You just tackle them, like punch somebody. Yeah. Hard foul, flagrant foul, anything. And it looks so passive right now. And if we really, and I know JT's a big missing piece, and if we're this clunky without him, I don't know he's going to solve everything. He doesn't have the Brady effect. There, I said it. Brady covered a lot of warts for us as a team. And I don't think he necessarily has the Brady effect. I think there are some other underlying things that they need to work on besides just getting JT back.
Does anybody have the Brady effect, though?
I know. That was an easy thing to say. I know. I don't think before I open my mouth. Welcome to the show. But in the grand scheme of things, last night was tough, dude. That was tough.
It was. Tough. I mean, especially the beginning of the game, Brown just looked like he was forcing anything he could possibly force. Started off over 5 or whatever it was, and just. They never really looked in sync. Then they obviously had the big third quarter and the run, and had the lead in the fourth. And it's also, and Billy's going to love this.
I love it.
It's also the execution at the end of games, and Missoula not putting them in positions to finish teams off. You think about their losses; they're 5-7, I believe now at this point, right? Or 6-8, something like that. They've lost, I think, 4, games that came down to the wire. I think they're either one in like close possession games. Like they're 1-4, 1-5, something like that. They're losing these like excruciating games because they're not able to execute. To me, that's where Tatum would make the difference. To your point, Timmy, is it like a Brady umbrella where he's able to kind of cover up and and stop the rain from all that? No, but he does help in a lot of different areas.
Sure.
And that final 2 minutes, and I'm not talking about like last shot of the game, but that final like 4 to 6 minute run, Tatum would go off, or he'd have like, he'd be able to feed it to Brown or whatever. He'd be able to have those moments where it was just, they had a 6-point lead. Tatum makes it a 12-point lead. Yeah. They have a 2-point lead. Tatum makes it an 8-point lead. Stuff like that just, it makes it such a huge difference. And yeah, I don't think Missoula's done a good enough job at the end of games where, puts them in a position to win. We're only 13, 14 games into the season, but it's something that they need to look at because they're not having fun. It definitely doesn't look like they're having fun.
And he keeps rolling the starting lineup. And listen. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But the shouldn't he just get consistent starts, or what am I not seeing? Cause I'm not you two. What am I not seeing? He
started last night and then he didn't play like the rest of the game.
It was weird. That was his rotations are weird right now. And I love Garza. Don't get me wrong. I think Garza puts it all out to the line. Whenever he's out there, he's working hard and stuff. Cato's too, playing well. I fucking hate Simons. The Anthony kid just drives me nuts. He's such a liability on the defensive end. I want to be like, I want to show him to break down, man, break down, move your fucking feet, put your hands out, don't reach for the ball, just stay in front of him, look at his damn belly, go back to basics or something, dude. Play defense. Yeah. For the love of God, play defense, even a little bit. It's so bad, and he has some questionable shots. But anyway,
Minot played 8 minutes last night.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because he pissed pissed on Joe's Cheerios or something? Like, like what happened there? Like, I haven't heard anything about that. I haven't really done my research. Did no research.
Bring it.
In meetings from 8:30 until 5.
Love it.
Walsh looked good. He's playing really good defense, and now he's starting to score a little bit.
Yep. And I'm happy that they're incorporating him a lot more, especially now that like G League is starting to come up. Right. This is usually around the time, like at the end of November, early December, G League has begun. So you start to see the demotion or whatever, the movement, right? But Jordan's still there. And I like that. I think Jordan needs to continue to play. You know, he needs to keep getting those minutes because he's like a Garza where it's like he's a blood, sweat, tears kind of guy. He's going to go out there. He's going to give everything he has. And he's doing it on both ends, you know, and I feel like they need some more of that right now. And Derek White is just off to just a really bad start. You know, it's unfortunate because they need his scoring and his playmaking right now more than ever. I think Pritchard's playing okay. You know, he's not shooting the way that they would like him to. Neither is Hauser, who I know is dealing with the wrist injury. But Derek White, his efficiency right now is just dropped significantly. On the offensive end from the last 2 seasons, especially. So it's a rough start. And it's not, they just don't look like they're having a good time out there. I feel like they're just trying so hard to be like, oh no, it's okay that Tatum's not here, and it's just, I feel like they're pressing too much.
Yeah. Pritchard looks uncomfortable. Like he's weight of the world. Like he's trying to do too much, I guess.
Yeah.
We still think January at the earliest, right?
That was my prediction. I think it was. I think it was February. I think it was like around the All-Star break.
Yeah,
something like that. But he's not coming back anytime soon. I really don't think that's the case, especially the way that they're playing right now. And I think we all agreed that if they're looking at the All-Star break and they're playing just absolutely horrible, he may just sit out for the entire year. But then again, it kind of reminds me of like this middling team, about 3 or 4 years ago, like Marcus Smart was on the team or whatever. Remember that? They had plenty of talent, but they just weren't figuring it out. And then I think end of December and like January, the new year flipped over and kind of like a flip, a switch kind of flipped and they started to figure it out. And it was I think it was first year Missoula was coach and they were able to kind of take off and obviously made a run to I think that was the first year they went to the finals and lost to Golden State. But it's kind of like that where they're kind of like, they're still trying to figure it out. They're kind of middling right now. They need to like take the next step and get a little bit more cohesiveness. But Joe also has to stop, to your point, Timmy, messing with lineups, man. Like find something that works, but you also have to do, make it somewhat consistent because he's just not there yet. But.
Yeah, and I understand people getting rest and stuff like that. I saw the other night they had oh God, I'm blanking on him now because I stuck in my head as his beard and his hat now. Joe, who left the Bruins and went to the San Jose Sharks. Thank you. Thornton was on. They showed him go back to one of his old teams, and they sent him in to read the starting lineup. And I was watching that, and I'm like, this must be like the Celtics locker room every night. When they sort of go in and they're like, you're starting in left guard, starting in left wing, right wing, and all this stuff. And I'm like, they must not know every night. And it's not that ridiculous, but like last year we knew who the starting 5 were, unless someone was getting rest. There was a starting 5, and I don't know. I'm back. I'm not all the way back there because he won a championship, but I'm back to, do we want him to grab the whiteboard with 49 seconds left? And I don't know. I'd
rather have Scotty Dukes do it.
I love that. Let's send him in.
Thanks, buddy. I agree with that. That's a great compliment.
Listen, I'm 0-2 against Big Nate. Send in Big Nate, goddammit.
You actually might have predicted less wins than they actually are going to get this year.
Yeah. Crazy. Before we jump off the NBA, a couple things. I'm going to jump back to the WNBA just for Billy. They just showed a highlight on ESPN. Caitlin Clark played in the Annika Pro-Am. Caitlin Clark played in the Annika Pro-Am, and she had her 2 teammates caddying for her, and she drained like a 48-foot putt, which was pretty amazing. Other than that, talk to me about the Dallas Mavericks finally parting ways. Doesn't it seem like what I don't what it can't be just connected to the fact that he shouldn't have done what he did last year.
100% connected to that.
Then why did they wait so long?
They didn't want it to seem like it was like a panic move. They wanted to say that it was like, you know, they felt that they were.
They didn't want the general perception of we didn't mean to do that.
Yes.
Well, if it worked, like if they came out and they were winning, then it'd be like, okay,
you made the smartest right move.
But it's you traded a guy who you said was out of shape and gets hurt all the time for a guy who's hurt all the time.
But he's not out of shape, Billy. They made
but he's hurt. Luka plays many more games than AD does.
No, I know, I'm joking.
And he's like 7 years his senior or something like that too. You know what I mean? Like Luka's still like
I would compare his whole compare their age and how many they. I feel like AD's whole career has always been injury plagued.
Something's going on.
One of the worst trades in the history of basketball. It's not even close. It's outrageous. Like and the comical part of it is that Nico, obviously they landed Cooper Flagg for the number 1 pick, which so much shadiness happening there, but also he's not going to be around to like see the the next first round pick, because they ended up getting I think 2 first round picks from it, right? But you won't see the next one. He won't be doing that. But it's just it was way overdue to me. Like, and also the fan base, look, they're struggling. They're not playing very well right now.
Yeah.
So they're not coming out of the gate strong. So even though Cooper's actually playing pretty well, but they're not winning games. So the fire Nico chants are like constant. Also, did you see the night, not last night, but the night before, there was a kid sitting next to the owner of the Mavericks wearing a Lakers Luka jersey, like courtside.
Oh yeah,
and he was sitting right next to him.
I didn't see.
There was some pictures of like the two of them like chatting and stuff, and then literally the next day, so everyone's like, "That's the kid that got Nico fired."
That's hysterical. Yeah, is a piece of this, and I'm just throwing pasta at the cabinets at this point, but do you think there's a piece of this termination for that position that they're sort of clearing the decks and maybe prepping for? The rumored move is that if Dallas can tank it enough, and obviously Cooper adds life, but also I don't think Cooper Flagg would be pissed about going to Vegas, about that possible move of the Dallas franchise to Vegas, which I don't see because I think Dallas has too much of a fervent fan base. I don't see it ever happening, but that was the rumor. Let's burn this to the ground just enough to move it. And I don't know if they're clearing the decks for like, hey, maybe we're selling the whole thing and we'll move it to Vegas, or the current ownership will.
The person that bought it
wants to go to Vegas, right? Don't they?
Cuban. Is they're based out of Vegas.
Yeah. So speaking of changes with coaches, we'll move to the NFL. I'm going to be a year late on this, but Belichick might go to the Giants. Like, that seems to be all over the place right now. And I don't know if anybody wrote this down, but I definitely was the one that was saying Dayball's going to get whacked. I said last year, so I was off. Dayball would get whacked, and Belichick would go to the Giants because that was one of his first loves. And now it seems to be getting new energy. I don't know that he takes it, but I don't know that it gets offered. But it's interesting that it's out there right now. That his name
is Belichick and saying all the right things. He's just focused on Wake Forest or whatever it is.
Yeah. We're on to Cincinnati. Yes, of course.
But, but I mean, it's a situation where, first of all, Dayball, like, I almost kind of felt bad for him because, last year at the end of the season, I thought he was going to get fired because they weren't competitive. But then this year they were actually competitive, and then he blew like 3 or 4 like double-digit leads, and for them to lose. And then he was also just a psychopath, like just marching up and down the sideline. So it doesn't like shock me that they let him go. I guess I think I actually agree with you, Timmy. I think it was actually a year too late. I think they should have let him go at the end of last year. But but the fact that they're holding on to the GM that let Saquon go and stuff. Just that part, I was like, maybe I honestly think he's being held on because of the draft, Like they got Jackson
Yeah.
Dart.
Yeah.
Obviously, they got Malik Neighbors, who, will be back next year. But, he's drafted okay. He's done a pretty decent job in the draft. But yeah, it's kind of surprising to me looking at the whole thing. But Belichick going to the Giants, I don't know. I'd be surprised if it happened personally.
Yeah, I think too, from a return of the Sith standpoint, I think Belichick would probably. I think he does want to stay committed, and I think he does want to. I think he wants to right the ship in Carolina for his ego's sake, and because I think he's truly capable of fixing all that. He's gotten a lot of shit for walking in and not putting a Super Bowl team on the field at North Carolina, so I'll give him credit for that. Also, I think we get to the end of the season, and I think Sean McDermott might be out. And I mean that that is a marketing celebration to get the Buffalo Bills, right? And to bring him in, and he gets to go in and christen a brand new stadium. Like, I think and he gets to fight with us twice a year. I think he'd love that. He'd love that. And I McDermott might be. I don't think he's not necessarily on a hot seat today, but it's pretty warm. They're heating it up. I don't know.
It's not a great look after losing to Miami. I mean, it was
no. It's like McDaniel's like, awesome. Let's do some prop bets in baseball. Like, he's feeling good this week. He's playing with house money now, right? For sure. It's crazy. I put that video in the team chat. I didn't realize, and I know this is so stupid, but I'm so into the aesthetic of these uniforms. I didn't realize the helmets on the Nor'easter uniforms, the rivalry uniforms, are matte white. And that is chef's kiss. I didn't love how bland those helmets were, but them being matte white makes all the difference in the world for me. I love that video. If you didn't watch it, they went a few layers deep than the marketing stuff that we had before, in talking about the fact that, because I saw the 6 stars around the collar of the rivalry uniforms for the Patriots that they'll be wearing tomorrow night at Gillette. And I thought immediately, the 6 Super Bowls. It's in homage to both the Super Bowls and the 6 states of New England. And where I think they dropped the ball a little bit, although I love it, I think they could have put it on the back. It's on the back inside collar of the jersey that it says, "We are all Patriots." So, and Billy bought one, so he knows this because he's got one. So you can't see that externally. That would be dope if it was on the back and you could actually see it. Because how many shots are they going to have of the back of Drake May's head when he's in the huddle, right? Or any player's head, for that matter. Yeah, that was a little bit of a swing and a miss. But they talked about the iteration.
Maybe it'll be on the bottom of the helmet, like that little leather part.
No, they showed. If you watch that video I sent out, they put, it's just going to say New England.
Oh,
it just says New England on the back. But I love that Nike approached them and 7 other teams. They're doing 8 teams, and they're just going to 3 more years. They're going to roll out 8, 8, and 8. Which is sort of weird that they're waiting so long, but they're trying to make it cool, I guess. Anyway, they sent the initial revs. Wait till you see that video. The initial revs they sent out to the Patriots. Thank God we spoke up. It was like Rod Rust era had sex with, Pete Cat. It was just bad. It was, there was no imagination. So they kept pushing back, and they sent back, they called them mood boards. The marketing team at Patriot Place sent back to Nike, and they're like, "We're feeling this," and that muted blue that you see like over the ocean when there's a storm coming, and that's what gave birth to it. So those happen tomorrow. They're only Billy made a great point too, and maybe Scotty, you were here for the show. We were bitching it. I find it foolish that they're putting together games in which we played the Bills. And we didn't wear our rivalry jerseys. They wore theirs. Yeah, we're saving ours for the Jets. I get it. I don't get it. All I want for Christmas, because remember I said this would be the only win that we would have. Or maybe I said at New York. I think I said Jets at New York. There's only going to be our only AFC East win would be Jets at the Jets. So I know it's them coming in here. I don't want us to stain these brand new uniforms with a loss to the friggin' Jets. So I would like ground and pound tomorrow. Just hammer them with the running game. You know, if we can make a deal, if we can make a quick deal with Philadelphia, Philadelphia just releases A.J. Dillon overnight. We pick him up, get him on the field. I don't know.
Escalated.
That did escalate quickly. Listen, Dana Barros, there. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, they just announced that, both, even though he practiced the last 2 days in like limited capacity, Ramondre and Booty are both out for tomorrow.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so no Ramondre, no Booty.
But is that Efton Chisholm? Who do we get? Do we get Efton Chisholm? Should he slide up the pole or no? Who jumps in?
Well, it's
Efton Chisholm, the little Edelman replacement.
What do you mean? They had the same. They didn't have Booty last week, so
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. But he wasn't in last week. Why are they not using him? He was such a phenom in the preseason, and he's on the team, or is he on the practice squad?
No, he's on the team. He's returning kicks. Yeah. He's been returning kickoffs.
Okay. I'm busy watching the NBA when that happens, I guess.
It's watching Caitlin Clark roll putts.
Listen, have you seen her caddies? I will watch them roll everything.
Oh my God. How long were we happily married? Anyway, so
29.35 years. She's just saving up for a good lawyer.
In what we talked about, the other week, where you guys were yelling at me about the trade deadline and stuff, but the wide receiver room is really tough to crack right now. You know what I mean? Like to get snaps in that wide receiver room. And thank goodness, knock on wood, for the most part, the only injury that's there is Booty's hamstring or whatever it is. So, so that's why you're not going to see Chisholm very much, at least not right now. And the fact that, Hollins is playing out of his mind. Like 2 of the last 3 games, he's had monster games. That throw after he got hit, and the deep ball that made had, and then to come right back to it and just put it just drop it in the bucket to Hollins in the fourth quarter was just, and to take the hit as well and make that throw was just,
he knew he was getting rocked. Yep.
Yeah, that was big time stuff. Obviously, the drive didn't end the way you'd hope it for because he threw an interception in the end zone. But one of, by the way, like such a rare mistake from him this season. He hasn't really made those types of mistakes where it's like, I've got points. I know I have points. I'm not going to make a mistake, and throw it like a pick. And he just did that one time. Yeah. So it was, as much as and Ryan was here and my father and stuff, and we were all like, oh, but we bounced. It was one of those things where it's like, oh, well, you know what? Doesn't happen very often. It was almost like a right. I'm not saying it was Brady-esque because
Tommy definitely didn't see that guy.
I love that you said it. You're not going to say it's Brady-esque, but you know what? When he threw that, he goes over, he grabs. It's not an iPad, it's Microsoft. He grabs the little Microsoft tablet and he's looking at the stuff on the tablet. And coach comes over and he's like, breathe, right? And to me, Brady-esque in that whole conversation we've all seen a million times, and it's fantastic, where Charlie Weiss is saying to Brady, basically, don't F this up. And Bledsoe grabs him, Super Bowl. Bledsoe grabs him before he goes out for that drive, and he goes, just go fucking sling it, right? And I love that he has that mentality of, like, listen, I'm going to, like, Wayne Gretzky, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Like, because if he knifes that in there and threads the needle, it's already happening. How many Drakes are going to be born in the next 5 years? Let's be honest. Be a lot of golden retrievers and boys named Drake, right? Even girls. I think that could work both ways. It's going to be ridiculous. He's already got the juju around him, and I think if he threads that needle, nobody's pissed. And when he got picked, you're like, oh my God. But like his tenacity to just go back out there and be like, F you, and get back up, right? Mike Tyson. Everybody has a great plan until they get punched in the face. He's been punched in the face a few times, and he lets it go.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Well, the sack count is the scariest thing. Like, talk about we can't have nice things. Like we do have to protect him. I will
say I'm really happy that Quinn and Williams got traded right before this game. Like, thank you, Jets. Thank you.
Oh my God. My God. Right. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The guy's a problem. The guy has always been a problem against the bats too, especially. So yeah, it's just like, ugh. But it was and go ahead, Billy.
Drake May, there's at least like four or five passes he makes a game that you just like, it just wows you. Like,
yep.
He's dropping it in the perfect spot. Like that pass he threw to Kyle Williams. Oh my God. Williams had nothing else but to catch that because it was in such a perfect spot. He didn't have to break stride. He and it was like, wow. And that
he was
one
getting
to
hit. And he was getting hit when he let it go.
Yeah.
Like that's
and that one to Diggs on the fourth down right before the half, where he put it only where Diggs could get it, and it was
Diggs made a hell of a catch.
Yeah,
that toe tap was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was University of Indiana toe tap. Delicious. Yes, it was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
He has confidence in certain receivers like Booty, Williams,
Hunter
Diggs.
Henry.
It's those guys.
His relationship with Hunter Henry reminds me of young Brady with Ben Coates.
Well,
like it was
Henry and Hooper both like down the middle.
They never played together.
Him and Ben. Who am I thinking of?
Ben Coates was Bledsoe. No. Yeah.
Who am I thinking of?
Yeah, you're thinking either maybe Daniel Graham or Ben Watson.
Ben Watson. Thank you. Sorry,
Rob.
Ben Watson. No, I'm thinking of Ben Watson.
Well, he said young Brady. He said young Brady. So.
Young Brady. Ben Watson. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all good. You are forgiven.
Listen, it's tough. I'll show you around when you get here, Scotty.
To prepare is preparing.
Oh my God! I love our executive producer admonishing me on the air. Quiet down, or I'll turn this car around. God damn it!
I will say this though. It's funny. We had this conversation on game day where every week Pats will their defense. They just that first drive. They just look lost and confused, and they always give up points. And then after that, they just kind of lock in and they squeeze. It's the wildest thing. I'm like, what? Yeah. And we were just shaking our heads and we were talking about it. I'm like, when they scored, I'm like, eh.
It's like there's a hypnotist in the locker room and he snaps his fingers 4 minutes into the first quarter. And they all wake up like, where are we?
It's almost like they don't look at film.
Yeah.
They just wait. They let them do their first drive, and then they make all the adjustments and figure out.
Yeah, they're like, oh, got it. Yep.
It's like, it's crazy.
We're gonna drop into a Tampa too. Yeah, okay, yeah, and then they figure it out. Yeah. What are we thinking for? We got to talk about. Going to talk about the fact that we signed a tight end for one day, but before that, let's get to predictions. What do we got for predictions? Tomorrow
for Thursday night,
and I'm thinking of the guy who's not working tomorrow, and he's going to be in there as soon as the parking lot opens, and he's going to do what Tom Brady told him to do: lube up early. They're going to be loud tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a shit show tomorrow. Can't wait. Fantastic. What are your thoughts?
I will also piggyback on that. By the way, that Tampa Bay, I heard Zolak talk about it this week, where it was like he's driving from the hotel, all Pats fans. They get to the stadium, he's like walking around or whatever, all Pats fans. He gets in there, he's like, it was like 60-40 Pats fans. He's like, it was all loud. But it's amazing, and I think they're.
It's that scene from The Hangover. We are back, like when they're all driving to Vegas, right? Yeah, 1,000%. Like
memes, have been priceless.
The rest of the NFL is just like they can't get away. How can they get away with this?
Yeah, so mad. I love the ones where like Patriot fans, like, oh, they had so much to deal with or whatever, and it's like a little bump. It's like that little bump thing or whatever. Like they had 4 years of bad football, and look at them now.
And I think we talked about this last week. And I couldn't agree more. Janina's like, she's like, what a difference. Cause like we're obviously watching the game over the weekend and she's out in the kitchen and I'm just like, what fuck's like, I'm just screaming, a dumb step. Like I'm pissed that we're not putting enough frosting on the cake. Not that we walked away with it, but it's just like, and I forget who it was. Stephen A. Smith had Mark Wahlberg on something. And Stephen A. Smith's like, he goes, tell me about your Patriots. How do we know they're back? And Mark Wahlberg's like, I know they're back because I have a knot in my stomach for 3.5 hours on Sunday. Oh. He goes, because I care again. I'm yelling at the TV again. And Janina's like, oh my God, like 4,000%. Like not the last couple of years we didn't care, but you was just like, I mean, last year, for God's sakes, you were just like, rip the Band-Aid, let the patient bleed out, you know?
You went into the games, like I went into the games and I'm like, hopeful to win, praying it was competitive.
Yeah.
That's really what it was. I was hopeful that it would win and praying to be competitive and fake confident the entire year,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just,
did you see any Portnoy stuff that he's put out?
Oh, yeah.
So good. I love that he was up there with the Crafts.
I feel so bad for the Bills Mafia. It's like, we're going to have number 8 before they got their first one.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I love he said 8. You just skip right over 7.
Yeah. We're stacking them on. Stacking them on. Yeah. Get right to that even number, please, for me.
Yeah, he said minimum Drake May's going to win 3.
Yeah. I love it.
Oh,
I love it. Yeah, keep him healthy, and the other piece is and credit, that's the other thing about the Tampa game. They lose that game, we're all bitching about the trade deadline. All that fervor went away very quickly, and now we're sitting back and we're like, oh shit, right. And we still have a bag full of money and a bag full of draft picks, right? Which is fantastic, and the added juju of the fact that people want to come play for him because he's a player's coach. Like the aura around him and the fact that the guys want to fight for him is magnetic. And they see a young ingenue like under center, like, okay, I want to go play with him. They want to play for Braves. They want to play with Drake. And, whoever decides to come and go and whatever decisions they make, like a lot of people, like, do they opt out of Diggs to do something else? We talked about that. Doesn't matter. Like they've got the magnetism now that people are going to want to come here. They're going to look past the tax bracket and the taxes in Massachusetts. They'll look past the cold weather because it's going to be a place to come and get your ring.
Yep.
Or come and just be part of something that people give a shit about, So it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. What are we looking at for predictions?
You want to go first, Billy?
Sure. 44-10. Patriots.
I don't hate it.
It's like another Jets November Thursday night game with a butt fumble. Pretty sure that was a Thursday night game.
Oh, the Bumble. Yeah, the Bumble. Yes. 44-10 for Rubber Shoes. Love it.
Love that.
Okay. What do you got, Scotty?
Jesus. I'm going to say 28.
Oh.
28-14.
Okay.
28-14.
28-14.
I think Breece Hall will do some damage. No Garrett Wilson. They already ruled him out. But I think Breece Hall will do some damage against us a little bit. Maybe.
Can I change my score? I want to change my score. Yeah. I want to change my score.
Okay.
I know what he's doing.
44-9.
Up.
He took a point away.
Yeah. Oh my God.
3 field goals. They give up no touchdowns.
No. There you go.
Oh. All right. I'm going 44-13. 42-13. Sorry, 42-13.
I'm the conservative one.
Yeah, crazy. And are you drinking? What do we got? What are we doing? What do you got? What's happening?
There's some gin.
Oh, little gin.
After the day I've had.
And you're a Hendrix man, yes?
Oh, yeah.
You're Hendrix. What are you drinking?
Flavored
Perrier. Perrier. Okay. I was like, I'll tell you what, a can or something. I'm like, is that Heineken? Oh,
Forever
Black. You're not drinking. How long have you been not drinking, dude?
November 30th was the last time I drank last year. November 30th.
Almost a year.
Yep.
All right. Interesting.
What are you at, Jimmy?
It'll be December 29th. It'll be 2. Yep. Mai Tai at Kowloon. What a curtain call. That's what it was. Yeah. My last cocktail.
Sounds like a couple of fucking quitters to me. But.
Well, yep. Super good at it.
You'll hit our age someday.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Oh God. Executive decision. I think for the next 2 weeks going into the holiday, we are going to be back on Tuesday night. So are we
gonna wait? We doing Bruins? They're like the only.
Oh my God! How did we skip over that? I apologize. We did. Yes, right 7 straight. Thank you. Please hit me up with that.
Currently tied for first place with the Montreal Canadiens.
Yes, and you La Habitants are coming in Saturday night, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And the Bruins play the Senators tomorrow night. And the Senators are in third place, 2 points behind the Bruins right now. It's like you look at the top three this year, and it's like it's usually Toronto, Tampa, and Florida. And right now it's Montreal, Boston, Ottawa.
Do we feel like we're winning games right now because we are the Patriots had the bend but don't break defense, but Brady could put enough points on the board? Like last night, it seemed like goal, back and forth. Are we just escaping losses because we're putting puck in net, or do you think we're
because they're still there? I don't know what it's going to take. They keep doing. They score a goal and give up another goal like within a minute.
Immediately. Yeah, last night it was Zombie Nation, and then the whole place went quiet because they'd score again.
Yeah. It's I don't know what happens to them. They're like this was their big problem last year also. So Marco hasn't been able to get that out of their blood. So hopefully they can it's obviously they just lose focus like right after they get that high of scoring and going up 1-0 or 2-1 or 3, they go up by 1 goal and then they let up the tying goal. The good thing is they have 0 overtime losses. So anytime a game has gone to the overtime, they've come out with an extra point.
Well, you know what? A couple things. I find it fascinating that nobody on the team or in the front office has told Marco to get a haircut. Like, it's so bad. It looks like he lost a bet. Like, I see him and I'm just like, he's just killing me. And not that, he needs to be like
hockey. What do you expect?
Yeah, it's bad though, dude. It's
no, I know what it looks like.
It's pretty rough. It's pretty Poindexter. The other thing I found fascinating, I'm like, did I miss it? Because, Zombie Nation finishes and everything settles down. I'm like, did I miss it? And I felt like 13 minutes after the goal, and I know they're going through the tape and they're making sure that they get all the assists. But it was like 13 minutes after the goal, he announced the goal. The guy at the Garden, and I don't know his name. And woo, and everybody cheers. And, it's usually within a few minutes. And it was like, and it was consistent last night. It was a long stretch after goal where he was announcing. So I don't know if there's some new due diligence they're doing, but it was just odd. Scotty, it's almost like the third down.
I'm so disappointed that didn't happen.
Yeah, it was one of the few things we did well. They're like, well, we got to get rid of that.
Yeah. And I was like, I was so mad.
They're doing that well. We gotta get rid of that.
Even Logan was like, dude, what the fuck? Where did it go? Like,
that was actually pretty funny. And you ruined that too. Yep. Leave it to Chestnut Hill University to screw up everything connected to football. Mercifully, we have senior day on Saturday, and our dear friend Kaylee and her family will be going and enjoying the nicest high school stadium in America for that, because we're going to get our faces kicked in, which will be great. All right. Now we threaten to leave again. We're going to thank our dear friends, Joe and Leslie over AAA Work Trucks, and for Adam and Corey stuck in hair and makeup, Rubber Shoes. Scotty, you available next Tuesday? Say yes.
No, I can't. We get gymnastics.
All right. Rubber Shoes. The Stadler and Waldorf of Boston.
He said we have gymnastics.
Yeah.
So I want to see video of Scotty tumbling around.
Cannot do gymnastics.
I want to see video.
He's going to be chalking up. Up. Yeah.
I want to see the balance beam.
It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
not going to happen.
You can stop at balance beam. It's okay.
Yeah.
I will say, by the way,
I would love for you to pommel my horse. What happened? What are we doing?
I will say, heartbreaking loss on Friday night.
Are they out?
They unfortunately are. We lost. They scored. Westbrook scored with 22 seconds left. And a Hail Mary attempt.
Oh my God.
by Michael from the Hawks quarterback, and it was heartbreaking. So many great stories, but I won't get into it now. But the kids played so hard all year and couldn't be prouder of them. So it was just heartbreaking loss. And I suspect Westbrook, who was number one in our class, is going to get absolutely destroyed by Kenny Wunk this Friday.
Oh,
that's okay. Yeah. So
it was a heartbreaker. Wish them well in their season. Yes.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No. None of that. None of that.
No. But the boys
knifing tires in the parking lot.
Was awesome. It was a lot of fun to watch all year, and Nathan was dialed in all year long, and a lot of tears Friday night, a lot of crying, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's so heartbreaking if you have a senior, if you have a student athlete in your family. It is to watch the videos, and I love them, but I know they're heartbreaking. Like, I'll turn the phone and show it to Janina while we're like in bed watching the Bruins win, even though they can't figure out how to stop the puck. And I show her, and she's like, nope, because it's like some girl, and it's just the kids, they pop their phone up and it's them taking their cleats off for the last time. It's heartbreaking. There was I saw one the other day, the kid was taking his shoulder pads off for the last time. And it's just like, oh my God, like they're never going to play organized that again. And you sort of don't think about that. And then it happens and you're like, shit, it's over, you know?
Will Maynard, who is a very close friend to Logan's and Nathan and myself, and he's a really good kid, senior left tackle. Started every game, just absolute beast, and came off the field. And I've never seen the kid cry. Yeah, and he actually went to the game, the BC game with us, and and gave me the biggest hug of all time. And he just started bawling his eyes out. It was awful. I'm like, I was gonna start crying, but it was mostly because he smelled terrible. Because he was so gross, but it was kidding.
What's that line from Elf? You smell like beef and cheese.
Yeah. No, he's such a great kid. Such a great kid. I love him like one of my own. And it was a tough loss. But next year will be fun. So we'll see.
Absolutely. All right. Again, for our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks and for Rubber Shoes and Scotty and myself, Adam and Corey, Stuck in Hair and Makeup, will be back Tuesday. You'll get Rubber Shoes and I, where I will do no research and Rubber Shoes will grimace for 60 minutes. We'll see you then.